In this video, we will explore the importance of verbs. Today, we are not just learning verbs. We are actually going to understand how verbs control meaning in English. If nouns are the names of people, places, and things, then verbs are what make those people and things do something, become something, or experience something. So think about this for a moment. If I say, the manager, you're waiting. Waiting for what? For something to happen, right? The moment I say the manager approved the proposal, now the sentence is complete. Meaning is delivered. Action is clear. That one word approved carries time, responsibility, and clarity. So that's the power of verbs. Today we are going to deeply understand what a verb is, how verbs function, why verbs are important, when and how to use them properly, types of verbs, and of course, practice questions. I want you to listen to this like I'm teaching you directly in class, okay? So, what is a verb? A verb is a word that expresses an action, an occurrence, a state of being, sometimes a condition, or a mental process. Most people think verbs are only physical actions like run, jump, or write. That's a very limited understanding. Let me expand it properly. In the sentence, for example, the architect designed an innovative structure. The word designed shows an action, right? In the sentence, the solution seems practical. Here, the word seems does not show physical action, but it is still a verb because it describes a state. And in the sentence, they believe the strategy will succeed. The word believe is a mental action. You cannot see it physically, but it is still a verb. So a verb is not just a movement. It is anything that tells us what is happening, what exists, or what is experienced. Got it? Now let's understand something very important. Every complete sentence in English must have at least one verb. Do you know why? Because a sentence needs to tell us something about the subject. Now, look at this. Now, if I say the committee members during the meeting, is this complete? No. But if I say the committee members discuss the proposal during the meeting, now it works. Do you know why? Because the verb discussed connects the subject to meaningful action. So verbs perform three major functions. They show the action. For example, the company launched a new product. They show a state or condition. For example, the company is stable. And they show the time, which means the tense. For example, she presents the report, which is in present tense, and she presented the report. This one is in past tense. And of course, if you are saying she will present the report, that's in future tense, right? So you can understand how the verb changes form to show the time. That is how verb helps us organize the events logically. Without verbs, then tenses become complicated, and of course, your sentence will not be grammatically correct. Now, let me tell you why verbs are very important. Verbs are important because they give meaning. Without verbs, sentences are just fragments. They show time. They tells us when something happens. And of course, they show the intention. Like modal verbs, if you take, for example, they express the obligation, possibility, permission. Example, you must complete the analysis. This is an obligation, right? They create clarity. If you're using incorrect verb, then it will create a confusion, right? For example, she go to office yesterday. What is this go to office yesterday? This creates grammatical confusion, isn't it? So the correct thing is she went to office yesterday. So here verbs directly affect the clarity, professionalism, and your credibility in communication. Got it? Now let me tell you when and how do we use verbs. This is pretty important because you do not randomly choose verbs, right? You choose verbs based on the subject. Whether it's a singular subject, then you have to use a singular verb. If it is a plural subject, you have to use the plural verb. That we call it as a subject verb agreement, right? The singular subject, you have to use a singular verb, and for a plural one, you have to use a plural verb, which means the subject should agrees with the verb. That we call it as a subject verb agreement. For example, the manager approves the request. The managers approve the request. The time, past event means you have to use the past tense, and for the future event you have to use the future tense. And the important thing, the meaning you want to express. If you want to express ability, use can. If you want to express the obligation, use the word must. And if you want to express possibility, then you can use might. For example, the results might improve with better planning. So this one is the possibility, right? We have used might here. And the sometimes the structure of the sentence, if you look at it, verbs work alone. Sometimes they work with helping verbs. For example, she is preparing the presentation. So here is plus preparing work together. Got it? Now let's see some of the important types of verbs. The first one, of course, everyone knows this, action verbs. These types of verbs, they show physical or mental action. The engineer constructed a sustainable model. And this one is the mental one. She analyzed the data carefully. So here the mental verbs include, you can use words such as believe, understand, assume, consider, evaluate, recognize. So these are the things that you have to think mentally, right? They don't have a physical form. And the second one, the type of verb is the linking verbs. So these are also a common type of verbs in English. They connect the subject to additional information. So common linking verbs are like is, are, was, were, seem, become, to form of the verbs, be form of the verbs, like words such as appear, remain. For example, the outcome appears uncertain. The environment became hostile. So these verbs do not show action, but these verbs they connect, right? That's why we call them as linking verbs. And then the third one is helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. So they help the main verb. Common helping verbs again is, are, was, were, have, has, had, do, does, did, all these words. For example, she has completed the project. They are preparing the document. So here, has is the auxiliary verb. Are is the auxiliary verb. Got it? Now let's move on to the modal verbs. Remember, modal verbs express possibilities, ability, obligation, or advice. Example words for modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must, should, would, shall, all these words. Okay, so you should reconsider the proposal. The strategy might fail under pressure. So this one, when it comes to should, this is also a modal verb, and might, again, it shows the possibility thing, so it's a modal verb. Got it? And transitive verbs, so these verbs require an object. For example, she drafted the agreement. So here the verb drafted needs agreement, right? So that's how these transitive verbs works. Intransitive verbs, they don't require an object. For example, the audience applauded enthusiastically. So here it does not require an object. This itself has a proper verb form, right? So this one is an intransitive verbs. Got it? So these are some of the important verb types. Now we can move to the practice questions. For the first one became, so here this one is the state. It represents the state, not the physical thing. So this one is a linking verb. And the second one, they have submitted the final report. So have is the helping verb and submitted is the main verb. The children laughed loudly. So here this one is intransitive. So it does not require an object. You remember? So this one is intransitive. Each of the participants has responded, not have. has responded because here each. You must verify the data before publishing it. So here must obligation. Got it? So that's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more English tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.